Okay, hello everybody. We are on to our next video. And so for this video, I want to share with you some tips on marriage and how to keep your marriage together. So for those of you out there who are married 10, 20, 30, 40 years, I know you're much more experienced than I am, but I've garnered experience from persons who have been married longer than I am, and also from the short time that I have been married, which is 7 years, if anybody is wondering. Okay, and so these three tips that I'm gonna share with you on this video are tips that will help you to have a successful marriage. Okay, and I believe that without them, no marriage can succeed. Right? And one of the things that we need to do with marriage is that we need to keep it spicy, we need to keep it relevant, and we need to make sure that the marriage is serving our needs. Because if the marriage is not serving our needs and an individual in the marriage is unhappy, then this unhappiness will feed into other areas of our lives. No matter what we want to think, everything in our lives affects each other, right? We all have a head, we have ears, we have hands, we have a nose. If it was that you didn't have any hands, then your body would be imbalanced, right? There are things that you need to do with your hand that if you didn't have a hand, you wouldn't be able to do it, right? If the holes in your nose were blocked up, you wouldn't be able to breathe properly. You'll be able to, if you breathe through your mouth, then when you eat, what would happen? You would suffocate, right? Because there's a time when you're eating and you need to close your mouth so that you can eat. And so it's the same thing with your marriage and your life, is that there are certain keys that must exist in order for it to be successful. So number one, the first tip is that we need to communicate. And this means that we must talk to each other. We must communicate with each other. If it is that you are unhappy about something, let your partner know, because there is no way I can sit down. I know some people could read minds, but there's no way I could read your mind, right? You may be feeling hurt about something, but you didn't say anything. You went on and acted as if everything was okay. Now, if I am to know that you are not okay and you're hurt, you need to communicate to me that you are hurt. And let us sit down and look at how can we work on not hurting each other, right? Communicate. We must communicate. This is important for any partner, whether it is that you're engaged or in a relationship. Well, for me, marriage is key. There is steps that happens before the marriage that we have to do with each other, right? So number one is communicate. Always speak to your partner, whether it be good or bad. Let them know how you feel about a situation. Don't sit down with it locked inside here, because when you sit with it locked in here, it's not going to serve you, neither is it going to serve your partner. And you're gonna be unhappy. And it's gonna lead to issues um in your sex life, any part of your life. You will have issues because you are not comfortable inside, and once you're not comfortable inside, it will exude from your persona. Okay, and so the second key is to date your partner or your spouse. Now, many of us sit down and we wonder, why is it that I don't feel like how I used to feel when I just met my husband, or I just met my wife, or I just met my soulmate? Why is it that I don't feel like I do? Because you're not doing the things that you do. When the relationship was fresh and it was new, you were always looking for creative ways to let that person feel good, to let that person feel honored, to let that person feel loved, to let that person feel special. But now that you have grown accustomed to each other, you have let those things fall by the wayside. Still bring home a gift for your partner, right? If you're preparing a meal for them, wives, if you're preparing a meal, husbands, if you're preparing a meal, because some men cook and the women don't cook. Nowadays, that we live in um a multicultural, multifaceted society, different partners have taken on different roles. It's no longer just the women that do particular roles. Men and women do similar roles. And so one of the keys is If you're accustomed to setting the table with a nice candlelit dinner, continue to do so. Continue to make that meal special and decorate it with a sprig of basil or something. Still do dessert and put some, strawberry sauce on it. Still do dip your strawberries in chocolate and all of that. Still do something special. Still write little notes to each other. You can use text. Nowadays we have so much technology. We can use text and all of those things. Write a love note. If you are away from your partner for a while, keep in communication. Nowadays we can video chat, and we can send videos and video messages and multimedia messages. Use the mediums to keep your relationship alive, and you have to keep it hot and spicy. Go on a date, and I'm not just talking, I don't mean double dates, and don't go anywhere with the children, just the two of you alone. Still go to the movies together, even if you have a big screen TV at home. Go to the movies, right? There is something different and special that happens there. Go to a special, unique restaurant that you haven't been to before. Surprise your partner with a birthday gift of a 3 day, 2 night stay at a exotic hotel or at some island in the Caribbean. And if you can't do these things now, do little things that will make your partner feel special. If you know your partner is a lover of ice cream, buy that special flavor of ice cream and surprise him or her one evening, right? And get a bottle of champagne, and after you've had the ice cream, drink the champagne, sit beside each other on the sofa if that's all that you can afford, and sip your champagne and reminisce on what it was like when you just met, right? That is one of the keys in maintaining good relationships, is to remember where you're coming from. What was it that you first saw in your wife or in your husband? What was it that you first saw? And whatever you first saw, look for ways. Is it still there? If it's not there, why is it not there? Right? And so, as you look for ways to rekindle your relationship, remember that it's important. No matter how old your marriage is, it is important that you date. And the last tip that I would like to share with you is that you need to evaluate your relationship. What is this marriage doing for you? When you're just married, your needs may be different to 10 years down the road. Because if you're like me, I am somebody who constantly is evolving. I always read, I always listen to marriage workshops, family workshops, read books on marriage and marriage tips, join forums and stuff, listen to radio shows that focus on marriage and how to keep your marriage healthy. No, other than just marriage, I also do a lot of other inspirational stuff. And I am very focused on God and fulfilling my mission and my purpose here on earth. And so I am constantly evolving because I'm constantly learning. I'm constantly learning, doing new webinars, new videos, reading new books about different topics. And so as you grow in your life, as you grow mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, you will find that your needs have changed, right? And once your needs have changed, you need to acknowledge that they have changed. Because certain things that I would have wanted from my marriage before, or let me not say wanted, but that I would have needed for my marriage to serve me with, no, I no longer need those things. Because on the pathway of my life, I am at a different place in my journey. So spiritually, emotionally, I need different things from my marriage now than I needed before, right? And so sit down and evaluate it by yourself first, right? Because remember that you need to tap into who it is that you are, and you need to be true to yourself. And so to be true to your partner, you must first learn what is your truth, what is important for you, to be true to you. And once you know what is important for you, then you will be able to ascertain if the relationship is giving you what it is that you need, right? And so sit down and evaluate by yourself, get a pen, get a paper, and make notes, right? And then prepare to speak with your partner. And don't speak with your partner when you're in a mad mood. If you guys are upset, wait. go on a date and choose a time while you're on a date and your partner is feeling special to deal with the issue, okay? Or to bring up whatever topic it is that you need to bring up. And when you sit with your partner, let your partner know that you have been evaluating some personal things for yourself. And so you would like to discuss, where your marriage or where your relationship is going, and where you both see yourselves in the future, where you see yourself, and how does the relationship fit in with where you are and where you are going. Okay, so it is important to constantly evaluate. So you let your partner know this ahead of time, so that whenever you do talk about it, he doesn't feel like he's out in the middle of the deep blue sea, because how is that going to help him? Right? He feels like probably you're just jumping ahead of him, or she feels you're jumping ahead of her. Let the person know that this is what you would be want to discussing, so that when you both come, you both have your needs, and wants together, right? And once you're discussing this together, then both persons will feel equal, because this is what a relationship needs to do. We need to honor each other in our marriages. We need to respect each other, right? And in honoring and respecting and loving each other, it means that I take note of the fact that your ideas, your needs are just as important as mine. Mine is no more important than yours is, okay? So the takeaway from today: to maintain a healthy relationship and a healthy marriage, communicate, date, and evaluate. Cheers to a well balanced lifestyle.